Fuck Jay-Z.
Nah, my nigga, I fucks with Jay-Z. Sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck Jay-Z.
No, I fucks with the homie, man. Sorry.
We definitely about to chop it up. You know why we here. Let's go.
And what they say, man.
I'm in love with him.
Ain't that an old Jackson back, man?
I don't fuck with him.
Next thing I'm at a house, right?
I'm in love again.
And then I disappear on him.
What the fuck is up with him?
Cause I know to chop it up.
Chop it
Get
up.
to work, man, I chop it up.
Chop it
I
up.
don't wanna talk and chop it up.
Chop it up.
Chop it up.
What's good, man? Welcome to the latest edition of Chop It Up with Lorenza. I'm your host, Lorenza, and you can tell by the intro that you heard what we're going to be talking about today. For those of you that are unfamiliar with this platform, my name is Lorenza, One Way Renzo. You can call me anything you want to call me. I answer to almost anything, and I'm just here to chop it up with you guys about the things that I see fit to talk about, or even the things you see fit to talk about. I'll even research those things when I go through my emails and stuff. And if you have questions and stuff like that, I'll definitely answer that question or talk about a topic that you may want my perspective on. Now, if you respect me enough to want my perspective on something that's important, cool, man. But I'm not always going to have the answers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Jay-Z. You feel me? But speaking of Jay-Z, quite frankly, it's been in the news for a couple of weeks now that Jay-Z has signed this partnership with the NFL to, I guess, exact some social justice change and do something with entertainment as far as music is concerned in the NFL. Now, this music thing brings soundtracks, live music, just a better overall experience as far as sonically and musically when you watch these NFL games on TV. I'm going to guess it's going to be really important when you actually go to these stadiums to watch the games in stadium. I'm pretty sure they're going to have something to do with that. Most stadiums play a lot of hip hop to keep the crowd hype. It keeps the people going, so to speak. So here's the thing. There's a reason why I was able to talk to you guys about what the entertainment part of Jay-Z's partnership is, and I was not able to give you anything about the social justice part of that. And that's frankly because they didn't release anything. So all they did was just leave this thing up in the air for speculation. Now, I am one to speculate, and I am one to listen to other people speculate. You are one listening to this podcast. You enjoy listening to other people speculate. So let's get right into this speculative shit. First and foremost, it's real spooky out here because Jay-Z made a decision that no one saw coming. I mean, for me as a fan of football, a fan of the NFL, I know for a fact that the NFL has this rule called the Rooney Rule. What is the Rooney Rule? The Rooney Rule is the rule that states an owner has to, it's a rule, has to talk to at least one black coach before they make a decision on who they actually want to hire. That's crazy as hell, and that's in the NFL. Quite frankly, a while ago, before Jason Garrett was actually hired to coach the Dallas Cowboys, he had to go through the Rooney Rule, and Jerry Jones himself already knew that he was going to hire Jason Garrett. So what he wanted to do was find a token. So the NFL has only a handful of black coaches in its history. So let me call one of those guys up. So he goes through his Rolodex. I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones still has a Rolodex. He goes through the Rolodex and lands on Dennis Green. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Dennis Green, he coached Randy Moss when Randy Moss was in Minnesota. And he's also famous for, go ahead and ground their ass. They are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. He's famous for one of the most epic rants in football history. But all that is beside the point. Jerry Jones calls up Dennis Green, to be like, yo, I'm just calling you heads up. I know you out of coaching and all, but I got to call a black guy or whatever. So, hey, will you be my black guy? And Dennis Green basically said, to hell with you, Jerry Jones. Call someone for real. Even though we know you're not going to call anyone for real because you're just calling this man as a joke. You already have who you're going to hire. I said all that to say is that is the company that Jay-Z has signed on with to exact some social justice. The league that can't talk well about a black quarterback for 5 minutes. The league that is 75+% black, but can't get these black people into these positions of power as GMs, as owners, as coaches, as quarterbacks, the positions of leadership within that league. And we're supposed to believe Jay-Z can do it? Shit, Jay-Z can do a lot, man, as far as hip hop is concerned and a lot of other things concerned. But I am skeptical as far as what Jay-Z can do as far as this NFL thing is concerned, because we've seen how this shit operates with people that can actually play football. Jay-Z does not play football. What in the hell is he supposed to do? And it is not a shot at Jay-Z. I'm really asking a question. What in the hell is Jay-Z supposed to do? And the reason I have to ask that question is because the NFL and Jay-Z have yet to tell me what the hell Jay-Z is supposed to do. What kind of changes Jay-Z is supposed to make? Is he going to get on the Malcolm Jenkins train and go talk to police officers? Like what? What are the ways besides NFL Play 60 that the NFL can help can help social justice? How about stop making little black boys play football? Get rid of some of this fucking CTE we have in our communities. Now, CTE is real. For those of you that don't believe that shit, CTE is real. Consider this. People usually play football from about 7 till about 18 years old. And there have been some cases of some college students that have had some horrible stages of CTE. If you don't think you got some homies walking around with CTE, you are bullshitting yourself. So if we're going to do something about social justice, let's do something about the lives we put in danger by playing football. Now, that was a little stretch for me to say because I love MMA and boxing. But I will say this. Those sports are less violent, even though they are inherently violent, because running full speed at someone else with your head just doesn't sit well with me anymore. Just doesn't make sense. But I digress. What is Jay-Z going to do with NFL? Now, there have obviously been two sides of this equation. There have been people that have literally said Jay-Z done sold us out, and people that have said, wait for it, let's see the facts. I'm interested in both parties. I am interested in cancel culture. I believe cancel culture is necessary because there are just some decisions that other people make that you cannot be party to. You can't be party to anything they got going on because of this one decision. This could be one of those things. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen COINTELPRO. We've seen the FBI use black people to infiltrate black spaces to destroy those black spaces. It is not outside the realm of possibilities that you get a famous black person to come in and then take away from what's really going on. Now, is this about, should Jay-Z not do this because Colin Kaepernick hasn't been signed? I don't think that one has to do with the other. Should Jay-Z and Colin Kaepernick maybe should have had a conversation before Jay-Z decided to take on this business endeavor? In a perfect world, yeah. It'd be nice to have a heads up, but Jay-Z doesn't owe anything to Colin Kaepernick because there's more than one way to live this black experience. There's more than one way to fight the man. Sometimes you fight the man with the job that the man gives you. Sometimes you use the man that the job gives you to make a stand against the man. Now, those two things sound like they were the same thing, but they're not. I'm talking about Jay-Z using what the NFL has has partnered with him to do. And I'm talking about Colin Kaepernick, who used football in order to get his stance out there. It's two separate things, man. But I am all ears, so to speak. I cannot wait to see the conclusion of this. I really hope it works out well for black people. I really hope it works out well for social justice. And I really hope it works out well for the NFL. Because if this blows up, man, someone's going to have some major splaining to do. With that being said, man, look, I'm finna get out of here. This was a quick 10 minutes. It's a Sunday. Like I said, I'm getting back into this podcast thing. Well, as a matter of fact, let me tell that story before I actually let you guys go. I do a podcast with Money Mark called Two to the Body. You can find that on, basically everywhere you get your podcasts. And, I've been lazy with the uploading of that show. And I've been considering starting another podcast up, especially when I was going to make that decision, which was actually now to rededicate myself to speaking to people and with people. All that being said, I just wanted some inspiration, so I hadn't downloaded Twitter in a while, so I downloaded Twitter, put it on the phone, opened it up, and shit went through the DMs, man. Now, let me tell you, when you've been away from Twitter for a while, the DMs are random as hell when you come back. There's some fire DMs, my dude, that I've gotten. But this is a DM in particular that I want to discuss because I want to actually send a thank you out to the homie. His name is Dennis, a.k.a. Kid Named Juice. You can find his podcast that he has called The Suburban Life on all the spaces that you get your podcast or whatnot. But, he sent me a DM a while ago. And, it might have not even been a while ago. It could have been just a couple of days ago. But he sent the DM asking me about podcasting, if I was still doing it. And like I said, I was just thinking about it at the time. So, of course, I'm going to be, taken aback by this, seeing it as a sign or whatnot. But, when he let me know that he actually listened to the show, man, it made me feel some type of way, man. It definitely was a plug to the ego, because here's a guy that I would see on campus of Alabama A&M, and I always checked his feet, Like, Negroes always going to look at your feet, and the dude always had, some fresh kicks on, man, and me loving kicks the way Money Mark loves kicks, that always stood out to me. So anyone you respect for any reason, celebrating or supporting something that you do and you love, on the strength, that's to be respected. That's to be shout out. So I'm making a shout out to a Kid Named Juice, man. Follow him on Twitter, and also check out The Suburban Life on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, all that good shit. You can also follow them on Twitter. But that's about it for me, man. I'm up out this thing. Peace.